Good afternoon. Today we are going to look at this and the easy way to understand it, because it's very important you understand what's happening, where you are, so you can decide how to get your solutions. The things I want you to remember is always ask yourself, what's the domain? What's the sign? So before we even start, you always need to draw this beautiful circle, which you know is the unit circle. We always write in 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. And then we use our X rule to do this. And I'll do another session just on that, which is very important to understand. I also write down the radians. I cheat a bit. I actually do both. Do it in degrees if I feel like it, and then change it to radians. So here, a negative. Now we know all students take chemistry. So sign is positive in these two, but negative in quadrants 3 and 4. And they're the quadrants that make it negative. And then we can forget it. We don't even look at it again. The other thing I want you guys to always do is to draw these little triangles, and I'll do a little session on that as well. It's based on the 60 centimeter or 60 degree isosceles triangle with 2 unit lengths. And I always draw it as 1, 2, and root 3, and the root 3 belongs to the 30. We have the root 3 there, so I knew to draw that one, but you need to do the 45 one as well. And then we just go, well, what is my angle that I'm looking for? Remembering that sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse. So what gives me root 3 over 2? And remember, we've forgotten the negative sign because we've dealt with that. And we work out that it's sine of 60, which is pi over 3. So that's what we have to remember. Now the third thing I want you to do straight away before you even look at it is to draw the sine graph. I've got a very easy way of drawing these. You draw them till you're blue in the face. But we're looking at basically between minus pi and pi. Now I always draw my guidelines in, which is your 1 and minus 1. Doesn't have to be neat, just has to tell you, give you a good idea. We know sine of 0 is the y value, which is 0. 90, it's the y value, which is positive 1. 180 is there, there, and there. We should all be very familiar with that. And then we do the same this side. Bit wonky, but you get the drift. So what we're looking at is between here and here. So let's have a look. So far we've just found out the quadrants, found out our angle that we're looking at, and now we have to have a look at where we're at. Now here, it's from here to here. So we normally do this, and we go here, that's just theta. Here we're going this way, so when we find this is 180 minus theta, because that's my angle, not that one. This one I'm going this way, so it will be 180 plus theta, and this one I'm going that way, which is 360 minus theta, and that's when we go the normal way. So let's split it. We're going to split it by going the first bit, which is from 0 to theta to pi. And And let's draw it. So there's my 0, my pi over 2, my pi. And I know that there is pi minus theta and 0 plus theta, which we don't normally write, we just write theta. Oops, try that again. 0 plus theta, which we just write, it's theta. If we have a look at both our normal circle, sine isn't positive in those two. So between 0 and pi, even on the graph here you can see there is no negative. So in this one, there is no solutions. Nice and easy. So now let's split to the bottom. So now we split between minus pi to 0, which is this section. Now this is the tricky bit. So what I'm going to teach you today, try and remember it and you'll be fine. So in the normal circle, we go 0 in the positive direction, but with positive pi. But we don't want to go in the positive direction. We want to go negative. We want to go this side of 0. So we're going from 0 this way. And we've still got this and this. Oops. And this and this. So there's my theta still. But you have to remember we're going minus. So this one is going to be minus pi over 2 minus pi minus 3 pi over 2 and minus 2 pi. It's that way. So this is the most important part because I'm going that way. When you're going here, from here to here, you're going to the negative. So this one, instead of being 360 minus theta, it's 0 minus theta. Here it was 0 plus theta, but we're doing the opposite direction, so it's 0 minus theta. This one used to be 180 minus theta because I'm going from 180 and I'm getting smaller. I'm going that way. This time I'm going from minus theta towards 0, which is bigger or more positive. So instead of doing the 180 minus theta, I do minus pi plus theta. Very, very important because that's probably the hardest part is what do I do here? But think about it. Go back to the graph. I'm here and I'm going back this way. So I'm going to add theta because when you go back that way, we add. When we go that way, we take away. So that's 180 plus theta. If you're in this one, you're getting smaller. You're going that way. So it's going to be minus pi minus theta. Opposite to what we did here, which was 180 plus theta. This one is round to here. Now that there is 0 and we're adding theta. Oop, no, we're at minus 2 pi. So it's minus 2 pi and we're going that way again, so it's adding theta. So it's sort of the opposite of what you did when you went in the positive direction, but the important part is you're going from negative and you're getting closer to 0, or you're getting further away from 0, or closer to 0. So this time we don't need these ones because sine is only negative in these two quadrants, but they're still upside down. So the solutions will be theta is equal to, now we'll do this one first, 0 minus theta, and that was pi over 3, so minus pi over 3. And we do have another solution. If you have a look here, that's minus 1. Oops, I should put the lids back on those. Oh, that's my lids. if you remember, root 3 on 2 is about 0.88, so we're sort of about here. So if you have a look in here, we've got none, but we do have 2 solutions. It's a double check. Check what you've got. So the other solution is going to be, so that's in the 4th quadrant, in the 3rd quadrant, because we knew quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. So in quadrant 4, we did this one. In quadrant 3 is minus that plus theta. So it's minus pi plus pi over 3. Now you can do it using your degrees. You can say it's the same as 180 plus minus 180 plus 60, which equals minus 120. And then you can turn to radians by doing 120 times pi over 180, and we can divide by 60, divide by 60, and you get minus 2 pi over 3. Or get used to doing it this way because it's handy, especially when we start doing harder algebra. We just change that to the same denominator, which is 3 pi over 3 plus pi over 3 is minus 2 pi over 3. So your solutions, we can see between minus pi and pi, there are 2 solutions. So the solutions is theta is equal to minus pi over 3 and minus 2 pi over 3. Well, I hope that makes sense. I'll put another one up where we have a look at the minus 2 pi, and we'll have a look at all the solutions. Recapping, have a look at your domain, but check the negative. Find out which quadrant the answer belongs in, work out your exact angles, and draw it. So these things tell you where you're at. Between minus pi and pi, we see no solutions in that first bit because sign's not positive, sign's negative here. So what we then do is we still have a look at that, split them up. This one is negative pi, it's going from 0 to the negative, and we go backwards from 0 backwards, and we just rewrite it, redraw it, and then have a look at it. But remembering it's minus pi plus theta, 0 minus theta, minus pi minus theta, and minus 2 pi plus theta. A little bit opposite to that. Hope it makes sense. Practice and keep on going on.